Hello everyone, this is Ali Reza. Welcome to the Mentor Code Lab. I think it's finally time for me to start transiting my mod from Yarn to MojMap. God help me. This is a separate mini series because I want to go step by step and make sure that everything is understandable. Not like before, I will work on both my library and my main mod at the same time. But first, I will work on the library and then on the main mod. So this mini series is all about migrating from Yarn to MojMap. I hope you guys like it. Before we even type any command, I need to mention that you should make sure that you have a copy of your project. So don't work on your original copy. As you see, I made a copy of my project and called it glibs to MojMap, whatever you name that, just in case something went wrong, my original code will be untouched. Now, the transition from Yarn to MojMap happens in 3 steps. First step, you will run a command in the terminal in IntelliJ IDEA at the root of your project. You will let it to finish. Then you will get some folders with new files in them, and painstakingly, you have to sit back, compare the new translated file to the original file, make sure that everything is translated properly, and move from one class, one method to another class until you checked the whole project. Finally, you replace the files. And the third step, you will go back inside your build.gradle, and under dependencies, you will turn off yarn mapping, and instead you will turn on another option that is your MojMap, and I will just copy it, but I will not activate it. So the thing that you want that I put in comment, because that's the last step, is this: mappings space loom.official Mojang mapping with capital M, both for Mojang and mapping. So first step, run a command, let it finish. Second step, make sure that your code is translated properly, class by class, method by method, replace the files, and then the whole thing is ready to run. Finally, comment the yarn mapping, uncomment the Mojang mapping, resync your Gradle, and from that moment forward, hopefully your project is ready to go. Now, maybe in a few weeks later, Loom will start adding something in their toolchain, and they already had a blog post about it. However, they agreed that it is taking time, and the current Loom, although it has the toolchain to translate from Yarn to MojMap, has problems, meaning that mixins will not be translated properly and reflections will not be translated properly. Well, mixins are mixins. However, reflections, I think access wideners is part of it. So these two things will not be translated automatically. You should sit back and make sure that they are changed and working. To start the migration, you should be in the root of the project. How should we make sure that we are inside the root of the project? First, open the terminal. Take note that the address shown in terminal is actually the same folder, and the rest of the numbers is irrelevant. You should have the Gradle W in the root of the project, by the way. So in case of my, for example, 3 underline project folder structure that we don't have a Gradle W inside the root, I should open one mod at a time as a separate project and work on them, and then come back and make things work. So the command that we need to run is Gradle W space migrate capital M mapping with an S at the end. So it will become Gradle W migrate mappings space dash dash mappings, and let me move it to the side so we see more. And here is the mapping that we want to assign. Now you may have your own mappings, or you may want to move toward Yarn. Why, I don't know anymore. Yarn is dead, unfortunately, because I really liked Yarn's naming, but you have to get used to Mojang anyway. So net.minecraft mappings 1.21.10, and my keyboard every now and then types 2 ones. Now we close the string. Net.minecraft is the group, mappings is the artifact, and 1.21.10 is the version. If you are working on another version of Minecraft, this number should correspond to your version of Minecraft. Now I will close this guy and let's cross our fingers. This is the very first time I'm doing it. Hitting enter. Dot backslash. That means the root. Okay. There we go. Now it's working. So as you see, it says, welcome to Gradle 9.1.0. That's the Gradle version. It's trying to resync our Gradle. Then it's configuring our application and the sub-projects and other things. So it will take time. I'm telling you, it will take a long, long time, maybe more than a few minutes. But yeah, actually it's not that long, executing 24%. Let's see if we got anything at all for time being. So under base, source, main, Java, API. No, I don't think I will get anything anytime soon, because you see that it's running the base remap jar, shared remap jar. It's not building the project. I'm not sure what it's doing. The guideline says that after running it, when we want to run it, do not modify your Gradle properties or build that Gradle yet. So although it looks like it tried to build and failed, there we go. So you get this remapped SRC, okay? And yes, we will fail. But the whole thing is that if you compare, the structure is exactly my structure. So 3 folders, 1 storage connector. Now this one is the one I had from Yarn. Map direction is mine, so I'm not sure if I'm using anything related to Minecraft. Yes, direction maybe. So let's take a look at that. So now I have to somehow see these things side by side. So split right, there we go. Now I can start from the top. Let's start with imports. The only thing that is changed is the Skynet Minecraft util math direction. Now you see that instead of util.math, we go for the core. Okay, other than that, these are mine. So storage connector, and then final list of storage, array list of mapped, map of mapped. Okay, let's go forward. We are adding the storage. Here we are adding the storage. Here we are adding the storage. Good. Then we are getting the storage, getting the side map, this dot sitemap dot get, and return this dot sitemap dot get mapped direction from direction side. Thankfully these are my APIs. And finally this one, the storage dot get. So this file is correct. Now let's go into the other one, block, and this is where things become busy, because now we know that we are dealing with lots of overrides that comes from Mojang mapping. Okay, let's take a look. Well, it keeps my annotations, nice. Then here we are going with block entity provider becomes block entity. Really, if you are not sure, we can use linky. Now we will show more, and let me see. We go from yarn on to 12010. Where's the other one? We're in the mappings, aren't we? So mappings from yarn. I always miss this part. I'm not sure when it shows up. So translate to another namespace from yarn 12010 to the official Mojang. And what we want is now block entity provider. Okay, and yes, actually it's block entity, so that's a correct renaming. Now you can of course try and check everything, but I would say there are very little places that it may go wrong, at least for time being, because as you see, most of these are mine. So state manager, for example, became state definition. That makes sense. State definition, yes. So the builder is the builder. Then we are using append properties. That became God. Create block state definition, create. And apparently, yeah, create block state definition. God help me with the new namings. Okay, seriously, Mojang. Create, we are not creating, we are appending. We have created it before. Okay, terrible API namings aside. Then we have the state manager. Here is the state definition. Now here's the problem. I assume my access widener wouldn't work, because now we are looking for a state manager and it should become state definition. So be careful about these, but we can fix our access wideners much easier later. So set default state, register default state, state manager, get default state, state definition, any. Wow, are you sure? Any? No, actually it's wrong. It's one of those few times state equals to this. So yeah, get default state, both time is translated to any, and you see that this dot state manager dot this, and it becomes this dot state definition. That's the correct part. But the any get default state is default block state. So this is wrong. Get default block state. And that is why it's important to follow this step by step. As I said, it's a really time consuming process. So state equals this dot property, get state properties, apply defaults. Okay, register default state. Let's move forward. This is create block state definition. So we are creating super. Then we say this dot properties, get state properties, add to builder. I hope that it's not changed, because if it's changed, then for some reason Linky is not finding it. Okay, get a state properties with properties of. Okay, yeah, I guessed so. So this is with properties of, holy moly, and then add to builder. I'm not sure if that's the thing or not. So as you see, although it is translating more than few things properly, however, when it comes to shenanigans that we are doing, sometimes it's failing. So this one, get a state for placement, it should be correct. Item placement context, block place context. Seriously, one is item, one is block. Yeah, block place context. Okay. Okay, this the properties, get the state properties, contains property. I assume that we have problems here, okay? So this one should be okay. Get horizontal direction instead of player fixed facing. That's okay. These namings are not as bad as you think. However, we will have times that we will pull our hair. So state.width becomes a state.setValue, okay? Properties horizontal facing, block state properties horizontal facing. That's okay. And then let's move forward. Let's see if this dot properties gets a state properties, contain properties, blah, 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 blah. Then we have the mirror. Okay, I'm not gonna read all of that. So get BE type, this is mine, thankfully. Get BE factory, then properties that create pose. Okay, so this is IT create tick word, that's okay, because it's my own API. So block entity provider became block entity block, then super get ticker, and then properties has comparator output. It's mine, I think. By the way, normally 80% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. This is a good time to hit that subscribe button. You know what? Instead of troubling myself and going through all the things, now that I have a translated library, I will move it to the side. And actually, I will make another copy of glibs, and I will make that one the correct glibs, hoping that we can actually work with MojMap. Okay, so what did I do here? Project is this guy. Okay, big one. Let's go into build.gradle, keep that one. Let me copy the whole project, and I will be back, and I will tell you actually the correct way of checking everything, because as you see, this is a very big library and things are working hand in hand. So we need to know where to begin with. Let's rename this guy to be the real glibs now, but I'm not gonna open it inside the IntelliJ IDEA yet. I'm gonna do some nasty shenanigans here. First, builds.gradle, find our all projects dependency. There we have it. Yarn, bye-bye. And then get MojMap. So that's that. Then close this guy. And well, the SRC should be empty. Let's just make sure that the main is only having resources. Okay. Then I will come into each one of these, and believe it or not, I'm gonna delete every Java class that I have. So instead of looking like this folder by folder by folder, I will say, hey, please find star.java for me. And this will sort every Java file that we have. Okay. God, there are lots of them. So if I select all of them, how many are there? 230 files. Phew, okay. Get ready. Just make sure that we are not deleting anything that we shouldn't delete. But I'm just looking at the names as a transition, because if we delete anything by accident, then we can just take a copy from our multiple copies that we have on the hard drive. So get ready. Let's delete them. Boom. And now you have an empty project. Then I will go inside this .gradle and actually nuke it as whole. So inside any one of these, I should have .gradle folders. I will nuke them. So catalog doesn't have it, config should have it. Actually, you know what? I can get rid of build because why am I deleting the build is because of the Loom cache files that is there, and you know, they are just old yarn mapping things. Basically, what I'm doing here is now making a completely clean, empty project for myself. So no build, bye bye. The only things that I'm keeping is my axis wideners or my FMJs, my icons, stuff like that. So I deleted every Java file. I'm deleting the .gradle. I'm deleting the build folder. Also here, I can nuke this folder completely. And I think I can nuke the build. Yes. Be careful. Build SRC is Gradle stuff and it's not related to MojMap or anything like that. So emulsion, bye-bye. Energy is clean. Fluid is not clean. Now it's clean. Gas is clean, of course. GUI shouldn't clean. Heat clean. Inventory is now clean. Logger is now becoming clean. Okay, machina is clean. Molten should be clean. Multi-block should be clean. Pike network should be clean. Pressure, these are not built at all, so they are clean. Reference, okay, let's delete these. Then we have register to delete the .gradle and build the shared folder. The suspension is clean actually, and finally logic. Okay, so before I start importing things, I have this, where's the file? Focus.txt. If I open it inside any text application, you see that it has the name of the project, and each time I'm putting a double equal signs, I'm commenting those lines. Okay, so basically all I'm saying to my multi-sub project system is just load the shared. Now this is a very huge project structure, and as I said, the more we go forward, the more things talk to each other. However, the way I designed it is that this is the very base, so if it works, then the next level should only have problems for himself, then this one, and for example, if I get all the way to energy, then I shouldn't have problems with GUI or registering or referencing or our base structure for energy, anything else. Okay, so finally I can come back up and say, hey glibs, please open in IntelliJ IDEA. Now this will definitely cause a load if we have the build.gradle. Yes, it's detecting Minecraft, and now the build is starting. And remember, we did comment the yarn and we did uncomment and put the MojMap. So basically we are starting an empty project with MojMapping. However, let's see, it says line 69. Okay, I remember something here. Maybe it's not reading the commit hash value sources, and it's totally showing me the wrong. Oh no, actually it's here. So let's see, what did I screw up? Gradle, validate annotation, module versioning, that's that. Build src build. Oh, okay. That is why we have the original library, and under build src main java net fabric mc fabric impl build, we have these. So these were copied from Fabric MC, as you can say. And because of that, when I run the script, apparently it got deleted from the folder structure. However, these should be here. And didn't I have another thing there? Let me double check. So it should be under Gradle. Yeah, okay. It did drop yet another one, and that is focus.java file. Okay, and this has nothing to do with yarn and anything else, so it should work. And now I should be able to run the application, just making sure that yes, we don't have anything here as the base, but we are keeping the FMJ, the access widener, and mixin, and the icon. So this is an empty project. Let's run the sync. If everything goes smoothly, it should actually be a very fast thing, because as you see, we are just loading the shared project, and in here we only should see the shared project later when the sync is finished. Remapping sources, thank you. Although it's not my sources, it's the Minecraft sources. And this is one of the steps that will be cut out when the MojMap is finally deobfuscated inside Minecraft Java Edition. We will not have any remapping or obfuscating or de-obfuscating. Also, one more thing, the error logs should be much more meaningful, because when we look at the source code that is provided by Mojang, every field name, every variable, every parameter of a method call will have proper namings, and the debugging and the error log better understands the source code, so they better generate the messages for us. Anyway, I'm wondering what it's doing. It's configuring the projects. Okay, now it's downloading assets and idea sync tasks. Finally, it's not finding some things for render pipeline. That's okay. And we built successful. We wait. Here we go. We only have shared here. BOM and catalog. In this structure is what we call meta projects, so they don't have any code. But as you see, the only project that is actually loaded is this guy. So now I should be able to work on this guy as I want. And finally, the last task is to generate sources here. So fabric gen sources. Downloading wine flower. Okay. And it failed. Could not find method list in class net Minecraft util collection pool. Okay. So as I said, yes, access wideners will be a problem, but oh wait, resync. No. Stop. Because access wideners need a resync. And this is why I start with one single project, because now I'm sure that I'm looking at what I need to begin the whole journey. And immediately I see something about pool, and I know that it was an access widener, so I know that things have different namings now. Even generate sources failed. That was interesting. Oh, look at that license now. I never noticed. Okay, this is MojMap. The mappings are provided as is, and you bear the risk of using them. You may copy and use the mappings for development purposes, but you may not redistribute the mappings completely and unmodified. Guess what? He is doing the same thing in the future. Microsoft makes no warranties, express or implied, with respect to the mappings provided here. Use and modification of this document or the source code of Minecraft Java is governed by Minecraft and user agreement. Okay, that was interesting. Using of the official Minecraft mappings is at your own risk. Funny. You know, it's a little bit funny, because if you think about it, Fabric was thinking that Yarn has less risk compared to what Mojang gave out. Anyway, okay, now we have the project. Let's generate sources. It should work now because we don't have any access wideners. Basically, this is a very empty project, you know. It's like day one that we generate the modding environment. However, we are starting from in the middle road this time. Compile cache state, 4,520 misses. Yeah, these will not be missed in future. And again, I think in future when we are generating the sources, we won't use wine flower at all. Okay, what now? Connection reset by peer. Oh, IO exception. Okay. Okay, I'm not sure what is the problem right now, but at the time being, I can't generate sources. I need to go back and talk with people in Fabric Discord. However, we can do something. As you see, the reason I start with shared is that many of these classes like annotations or the component container or constants or some of these data, actually the enumerations, the functions, exceptions, interfaces, lots of these has very little to do with what Minecraft has. And honestly, I think the translation tool somehow failed to get here because I don't see anything. So I will cut them from there, come here and paste them. So we have the treated at only killing me. Okay, actually it should be more than that. Yeah, okay, I will go class by class. You know what? The easiest thing that I can do is to open it in Explorer like that and open this one in Explorer. That is the translated one. And the reason that I say that it didn't succeed on this one is that I don't see that translation subfolder here. So I will just move them there and replace. Much faster, isn't it?
If you like these videos, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button and turn on that bell so that when I publish a new video, you will get informed. Have fun everyone. Bye.